Good morning. Today we are going to watch a long division flipped video and complete some assignments that go with it. Now we've been working on long division in my center for a couple of days now. So we're going to kind of review a little bit of long division and then you're going to practice some on your own. So our I can statement for today is I can divide with remainders. So we're really going to work on dividing using the standard algorithm with remainders. And we've had this nice little man that has helped us, Mr. Division Man. And so we know that our steps for Mr. Division Man are also on our anchor chart that you can see behind you. But that we know our steps are divide, and then we multiply what we had divided times our divisor. We subtract those numbers, we bring down, and we repeat. So we're going to walk through this one together before you practice a few on your own. First thing we do on our division man is divide. So we have to think, how many times does 4 fit into 6? Or 6 divided by 4? And that fits in 1 time. Now we multiply the number we just wrote in our quotient times our divisor. And we do that so we can prove that I know that 4 fits into 6 1 time. Because 1 times 4 is 4. Then I subtract. And I get 2. Remember, anytime I subtract, this number should be smaller than my divisor. Is it smaller? Yes, it is. So I can go ahead and bring down the 3. Now I have to think, how many times will 4 fit into 23? Hopefully you said 4 will fit into 23 5 times. And now I have to multiply the number I just wrote, 5, times 4 to prove how I knew that. I know that 4 fits into 23 5 times because 5 times 4 is 20. And then I subtract. And my answer is 3. And then I bring down my 2. Now I have to think, how many times will 4 fit into 32? And I know that 4 fits into 32 8 times. And I'll multiply what I just wrote, 8 times 4, and that equals 32. And when I subtract, I get 0. So I know that I have a remainder of 0. So 632 divided by 4 is 158. I want you to try this one on your own. If you get stuck, then watch the video and I'll explain to you how to do it. So I want you to do that for all of them. I want you to pause the video and try it on your own first, and then if you get stuck, then watch the video. If you get it right, then you know you've done a good job and you've got it right. Let's look at this one though before we pause the video. Let's pretend, or let's say, because right here, 7 cannot fit into 1. We know that because 7 is bigger than 1. Well, now we have to think, how many times does 7 fit into 17? So we take the first 2 numbers. 7 can fit into 17 2 times. And notice I wrote it above the 7. And 7 times 2 is 14. And then I subtract. 17 minus 14 equals 3. And I bring down the 8. 7 goes into 38 5 times. And 5 times 7 is 35. I subtract. And I get 3. So I have a remainder of 3. So the answer to 178 divided by 7 is 25. Okay, here's the one where I want you to pause the video and try that one on your own. Unpause it and I will work it out whenever you are ready. Okay, let's see if you got this one right. 9 fits into 9 one time. 9 times 1 is 9. I subtract, and I get 0. Then I bring down my 8. 9 fits into 8 0 times. And 9 times 0 is 0. If I subtract it, I end up with 8. Now I bring down my 2. 9 fits into 82 9 times. And 9 times 9 is 81. I subtract, and I get 1. So my answer ends up being 109 with a remainder of 1. Pause the video and try this one. Okay, hopefully you said, let's check and see if you're right. Hopefully you said 5 fits into 8 one time. 1 times 5 is 5. I subtract, and I get 3. I bring down my 3. 5 fits into 33 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. I subtract, and I get 3. So my answer ends up being 16 with a remainder of 3. Pause the video and try this one. Hopefully you started out and you got this one correct, and you said that 4 fits into 5 one time, and 1 times 4 is 4. Then I subtract, and I get 1, and I bring down the 0. 4 fits into 10 2 times, and 2 times 4 is 8. Notice I had to put my 8 in the ones place and not in the tens place. If you put it in the tens place, your subtraction will be very wrong. And then last, I bring down the other 2. 4 goes into 22 5 times, and 5 times 4 is 20. I subtract, and I get 2. So I end up with 125 with a remainder of 2. Try this one. Let's see if you are correct. 6 divided by 3, or 3 fits into 6 2 times. And 2 times 3 is 6. I subtract, and I get 0. And I bring down my 1. How many times can 3 fit into 1? It can't. So we have to put a 0. And 0 times 3 is 0. I subtract, and I get 1, so I bring down the 9. 3 goes into 19 6 times, and 6 times 3 is 18. I subtract, and I get 1. I bring down my 3. 3 goes into 13 4 times, and 4 times 3 is 12. I subtract, and I get 1. So my answer ends up being 2,064 with a remainder of 1. I want you to try this one. All right, let's see if you got this one correct. 5 can't fit into 4, so we have to take 5 and see how many times it fits into 42. And 5 can fit into 42 8 times. And 8 times 5 equals 40. I subtract, and I get 2. So now I bring down my 0. 5 fits into 20 4 times. And 5 times 4 is 20. I subtract, and I get 0. And I bring down my 5. Now, how many times can 5 fit into 5? 1 time. And 1 times 5 is 5. I subtract, and I get 0. So I do not have a remainder. So my answer is 841. Here's your assignment for the rest of the center. Take a worksheet, answer the problems as best you can. If you get stuck, watch the video and practice the problems again. If you have any questions, quietly raise your hand and I will try to help you as best I can when I'm finished with my center. Hope you guys have a great time in math. Good luck on your worksheet.